Now I would try to redeploy the complete application. As I said, why do I want to do that? Because apparently, if you remember, if I quickly go back to my variables.tf, as I said, the Jenkins instance is 3t.medium. I want to make it small because for my cost optimization, and the default EBS volume is 30 GB. I don't think I'm using that much. Maybe I can go and verify that, but I don't think I'm using that much. Either I can go back, change the volume, basically take a snapshot of this EBS, and maybe just to explain you, I can take the snapshot of this EBS. ch- 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 I can take the snapshot of this EBS, and then I can reduce the edit it to 20 GB, and then from that volume I can make back the or create back the instance. Sorry, from the snapshot I can make back the volume, and then I can attach this volume back to EC2. I can do that, or I can do the other way around. I can just destroy the Terraform. So what I'll do is I'll go to the Terraform folder. I'll run Terraform destroy, right? Because I'm doing this because I want to really showcase you guys how exactly the complete the overall processing works, right? How you can configure, how you can read that README file and then configure it. So this will take some time. Um, so I'll try to pause this and I'll come back once it is done. Okay, so the deletion has completed. Let me quickly recreate the infra. For that, if I go back to my README, okay, before that, what am I supposed to do? I need to change the configuration of my EC2. I don't want it, as I said, I don't really want this to be medium. Maybe I'll just make it small, and even 30 GB is too much. I'll make it to, can I make 15 GB, like half exactly, for the EBS volume. So these are the two changes I wanted to do. Let me, what is this? Okay, one empty space. Okay, so these are the two changes I want to do. I'll commit this. Cost saving. One second. Commit, and I'll push this code to my Git. Since I've destroyed it, just for your information, none of my the application should not work ideally, right? Yeah, if I load this CDN, it should not work because I've completely destroyed the application. I've made it completely down. So there is no EC2, there is no EBS, there is no Jenkins, there is no CDN, there is no, everything has been deleted, guys, right? That's what I have been. That's what I have done. Yeah. Coming back. Okay, so this I have made the change. Now I'll recreate the infra by this small configuration for my EBS and EC2. So if I can quickly go to my README, yeah. So here is the command: Terraform apply hyphen variable, the key name, the Jenkins key name. I'm trying to give the key pair name. So I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Why am I adding this variable? The reason being, I have already downloaded this the keeper, so it is creating 12. So it is planning to create 12 to add in terms of infra. So these are the things that it will add. I'll say yes. So I'll quickly explain that why am I adding this, right? It will take a good amount of time to do so. So if I can quickly go back to my downloads, if you can see, I have downloaded this PEM file, right? So this is the PEM file, the PEM file. for my key pair, which I've downloaded, the EC2 Jenkins key pair March 2026. So this key pair, which I've downloaded, which I've downloaded, I'm trying to say that whenever you're trying to create an EC2 instance, I would like to ensure that I'm able to connect locally. I'm able to connect from my SSH. Any of my SSH, I'm able to connect to that EC2 instance, right? With this specific key pair. That's how I'm trying to do. To showcase you the key pair, yeah, this is the key pair. So this is the key pair which I've downloaded, and then while creating the Terraform, I'm clearly specifying that whenever you're creating the complete infra for the especially for the EC2 part, I need to have the feasibility to do local SS from my local SSH. I should have the feasibility so that I can see what is going on in my EC2 instance. Huh? Again, I would pause the video here because this would take ample amount of time, and I'll come back. Okay, so looks like it has created the complete infra. Maybe I can quickly check that. Maybe I'll just do here. I can go back to my EC2, not the key pair, the instances. Let's see if it is running. And this time the EC2 should be small. That's what we have ensured. It's no more medium. The checks have been passed. Looks good. And the EBS, right? We are interested with the volumes as well. Even for the EBS, it still says 30 GB. When was this created? Let me quickly go back and check the code. Didn't I make the change for EBS? Jenkins root volume GB 30. Let me quickly check. No, just in the Terraform side. Ah, I think here I should have made it as well. 15 and 30. Oops. My bad. The variable example is fine, but I should have also made it in the TF variable here, and this is not committed anyhow, but it takes from the variables, right? It takes it from the variables. So now this is this. Let me quickly do, let me quickly destroy and then reapply because it's fine. Yeah, destroy this. Let me see this volume is getting destroyed. It is trying to destroy the instance EC2 instance, it is destroying the CloudFront distribution. It is removing the relevant roles, the security groups, the IAM roles that it has provided, the CloudFront distribution. So you see, you can read all the statements here rather than me doing it manually. So the volume has been deleted, by the way, right? And when I reapply, I want it to be 15 GB. Still destroying. I go to the README. I'll use the same command and I'll reapply. Looks like it will take time. I'll again repause the video once this destroying is done. It has destroyed. So let me apply the same command. Maybe can I quickly verify whether it is 30 GB or 15 GB here in my plan? Yeah, you see volume size is 15 GB now. It is GP3 and volume size 15 GB. This is what I wanted. Looks good as well as the EC2. EC2 is T3 small. Okay, looks good. It is creating. I'll pause again and come back once it is done. Okay, so the Terraform apply has failed because it clearly says that while creating the EC2 instance, the operational error for EC2 instance status goes to 400, blah blah blah. The volume of size is 15 GB, is smaller than the snapshot, which is expected size should be greater than or equals to 30 GB, right? So I can't really use that. Either I need to make it to micro and then I can do that, but micro is too less. So it's okay. Then I'll make back to 30 GB. I'll quickly do that. So 30 here for the volume part in the variables as well. I need to make it 30, right? Let me reapply. Quickly checking the T3 small. Good. What about the, yeah, the volume size is 30 GB. Good. Okay, so it has created now. Let me quickly go and check. This is 30 GB. and the T3 small, it is still initializing. If the status checked is checked, then we are good. We can go back to the EC2 and check. Till then, what I'll try to do is I would also run the command to open EC2 instance locally. So the command is sshi, the PEM file, which is in my downloads folder, EC2 user, right? EC2 user. Maybe I'll quickly open the another window. I'll not write it here. I'll open the another window. Yeah, and the public IP of my EC2, T3 small, public IP. Yes. Okay, so I'm in. Let me do sudo systemctl command to verify that the Jenkins is running. It is enabled. The Jenkins server is enabled. Looks good that I'm already in to the EC2. All the check passed. Again, good. Volume is configured. Good. S3 bucket is also there. Good. No data has been uploaded. We need to ensure the CI/CD pipeline is enabled. That's the reason why we need to do the complete setup, huh? And that's the reason why I wanted to showcase how we can do that. So we are good. Now I will go to Jenkins. In order to go to Jenkins, I think the commands is already prompted here. You see, to go to the to access Jenkins, it's the IP address, the public IP followed by colon 8080, right? That's that's how you can go to Jenkins, and it asks the password of this variable. So what I can do is I can just say sudo cat the path here, and I got the password. I'll install the suggested plugins. Ensure that you're not exposing this right now. I have, for the demo purpose, I have showcased you guys what I was trying to do, or else I generally hide it and then do that. But I have exposed it here. I would later destroy this thing so that publicly this is not available, because anyone publicly can access this, huh, guys? So be very careful. So for example, anyone publicly can access this, right? Anyone publicly can access this. They just need that password, the administrator password, and somebody copy paste this password, they are in already. So yeah, I'll destroy this later after the tutorial, so that should be good. Skip and continue as admin. Save and finish. I just want the same http colon localhost of sorry, public IP colon 8080. Start using Jenkins. Yeah, here is where I have done the manual setup that we need to do. So we need to click new item. In my output variable, I have defined the steps as well. In my new item, let's say the name of the pipeline, I need to create a new pipeline. Okay. And then just say this CINCD pipeline, right? Ensure that you click on pipeline skip for SCM. Remember, GitHub hooks also we need to configure. So we'll select the GitHub hook, trigger for git SCM pooling, pipeline scripts for from SCM, even that needs to be selected in the configuration. SCM none, it is git, the repository. This is the repository URL dot git. Since it is public, it's fine. Add repository. Instead of masters, I have main branch. So it's main branch, and then the Jenkins file name is correct. Here the script file, the Jenkins file is correct. I'll apply, save. We should have the pipeline, right? I can click the build now, but before clicking the build now, the webhook needs to be enabled, right? I'll quickly go and check the webhook part as well. This is the same step I have given the screenshots here, what needs to be done. Okay, so first thing is I need to have the GitHub integration pipeline. So I need to go under configuration, plugins, under plugins. What was the plugin name? GitHub integration plugin. Available. I need to click install GitHub integration. Yeah, this is the one. So it is installing this plugin. This is installed. Good. So that is first step, and then configuration job for the pipeline. I think I've selected that while creating the pipeline itself. GitHub hook trigger for SCM part. Now the payload URL. I'll quickly go in my Git repository and HTTP colon. Okay, webhooks. I need to edit this because the public IP is not same. I'll use the passkey for now. The public IP is not same, right? The public IP has changed. It is this guy. The public IP v4 of EC2. Oops. Quickly write it here. I just want the public IP. Should be good. HTTP colon double slash the public IP colon 8080 slash GitHub webhooks. Disabled just for the push event. This looks good. Update the webhook. Webhook has been awa- updated. Now Jenkins is up. There is no code in my S3, right? Again, to visualize, there is no code in my S3 bucket, which would be exposed to the front end, right? This is not there. So I'll quickly commit the code now. I'll write a simple code. So what I'm trying to do is in my Git, I'm committing from local. Let's say, I don't know, in my README, I'll just add one line extra here. I'm changing this commit. I'm just saying test pushed. By the way, the CDN shouldn't also, the application should not be available in the CDN. If I can go and show you, you see access denied because the front end is not exposed yet. The front end is not exposed yet. So now it should run. We'll go back to my Jenkins pipeline. So it is running. You see, the webhook is working fine. That means when I've pushed the code, the webhook is working fine. It is, I'll go to the console output. I'll go inside the build console output. This is the build with one specific agent. It is started creating a build. It is installing all the dependencies. It is doing all the CI and CD process. First, it is doing the CI process. It is running all the stages, all the steps which are available in my Jenkins file. By the way, right? It is maybe if I could quickly go. It is running all the stages and their relevant steps inside this. deployed to S3. Now it is doing the deployment, the CD part. Invalidated the cache successfully, it has deployed it. You see, if I can go back to S3, reload it, the application has been deployed. If I go back to CDN, the application is up. Clear? I think I've completely explained the overall process again. The previous CDN is no more valid, so we need to change this to the new CDN. What does it mean, right? Like every time you destroy the complete application and then recreate it, the complete infra, even the CDN would be destroyed, the CloudFront would be destroyed. That means the URL would be changed, so on and so forth, right? So this is daunting, right? Rather, the concept of Route 53 is something that you can make it enabled such that the URL would not be keep changing. As I said, if you want those upgraded version, just let me know in the comment section. I would, even if I get one comment about the same, I would create the deployment process version 2, and then we can have a upgraded architecture for the same, right? And yeah, the application is up and running. And one more important thing in terms of usage, what I can do is I can quickly stop this, stop the instance, right? I don't want the instance to be running always because I don't want to pay to AWS, right? So I have stopped this for now. Whenever I see that, whenever I see that I need this back, I would respin this back, but the persistence would be there. You might ask the question, that is how the persistence would remain. The persistence would be there because EC2 volume is not, it's already there. Huh? This volume I'm not trying to destroy or not trying to delete it or destroy it or detach it. I can detach it and create a snapshot for the cost saving purpose, but I can leave it as it is, and I can pay for the GP3. Huh? So maybe I'll quickly share how much the cost happens. Cost for GP3 it is cost background. I'll be paying 2.40 dollars per month for this specific cost storage, right? So here is where I can think about if I really need to decrease that to micro, and then I can't really make it to 15 GB or 10 GB with T3 small. Rather, I should make it T3 micro, and then I can make it to 10 GB, I guess, right? So I can do that to reduce the cost because definitely G3 10 GB cost. Yeah, you see, GP3 10 GB cost would come around 0.880 dollars per month. This would be much more cheaper, right? I can do that as well. So I can go back and GP3 10 with T3 model question mark. I need to use the micro itself because while creating the small, it was not happening. So I need to go back to the micro instance. So T3 micro instance. So for the compute, it will have two CPUs, but 1 GB is too less. I would say as a memory, not the storage memory, but the instance memory. 1 GB is too less. You need minimum 2 GB for your Jenkins to spin up, right? So I can't really have it again. I need to do swap and all that for my. I think it is TMP folder, temp folder that needs to be swapped and all, which is quite hustle, I would say. Rather, I can have the instance of T3 micro, sorry, T3 small, because even if it is micro, trust me, I have tried it. It would be super slow. You can't even open, or even if you click this, it would take too much of time to load it. Huh? You can see now itself when I'm trying to go to the pipeline, it takes good amount of time. But when it is, because the compute is very less, it's small. If I would have used medium or large, it would have been super fast, huh? The complete Jenkins or the EC2 would have been super fast. Yeah, it still loads. So you understand the overall compute, if you're okay to wait and have that patience. But in enterprise, we don't really do that. We ensure the cost such that it is usable, right? It is usable for the EC2 to be, and we also have some buffers already added, so that we don't move out of that, or we don't lose out of either in terms of resources, right? Either in terms of memory, either in terms of compute, so on and so forth. So we always have a buffer in enterprise level. But since it is local, so I was good with this instances and all. That's it for today's video. Thank you.